There's no such thing as a coincidence. Some truths survive not because kings protect them, but because the forgotten refuse to forget. This is the story of the name, the fire, and the chains, from the deserts of ancient Midian to the boardrooms and war rooms of today.
Before Israel was a nation, before Jerusalem had walls, the name of Yahweh lived in the mouths of outsiders. Jethro, priest of Midian, met Moses in the wilderness before the burning bush. When Moses spoke of miracles, Jethro didn't ask, "Who is this new God?" He said, "Now I know Yahweh is greater than all gods." This wasn't a conversion, it was confirmation. Jethro already knew the name.
The Kenites, desert dwellers tied to Jethro's people, walked alongside Israel not as strangers, but as kin in the faith. The Edomites, descendants of Jacob's brother Esau, were warned in Deuteronomy, "Do not despise an Edomite, for he is your brother." Why? Because they too carried the memory of Yahweh, a family echo from Abraham himself.
And then there were the Shasu. Egyptian hieroglyphs from the 14th century BCE speak of the land of the Shasu of YHW. Not Israelites, not Hebrews, nomads who roamed deserts between Egypt, Canaan, and Edom. And yet their God bore the same name carved in Egyptian stone. Centuries before Moses led the Exodus, the name was alive Z in the wilderness.
It's a pattern that repeats through time. When kings fall into greed, when temples turn to corruption, the truth survives among those without thrones. The margins become the sanctuary.
And now, the wilderness has changed. Instead of deserts, we have networks. Instead of caravans, we have whistleblowers. The keepers of the name now speak through cameras, encrypted messages, and late-night confessions.
Look at Gaza. Leaders speak of hostages, of liberation, yet their actions tell a different story. The head of Israel's own military warns, further conquest endangers the hostages. But if conquest, not rescue, is the true goal, then risk becomes strategy. Netanyahu speaks of 5 principles: security control, disarmament, the return of all hostages, no Palestinian Authority governance. But the land is already 75 to 86% under evacuation orders. A city falls, then another. The wilderness grows smaller.
And across the ocean, another stage. Donald Trump, the self-proclaimed deal-maker, praised and courted, offered peace prizes, yet wielding tariffs like weapons, even against allies like Canada, the main supplier of American steel. Free trade replaced with fee trade, money over mutual survival.
The disease is not new. Ancient kings taxed the poor to fund their palaces. Today, tax breaks for the rich are followed by governments borrowing money, at interest, from the very wealthy they just rewarded. The people pay twice, first through loss, then through debt.
And in the shadows, names appear. Jeffrey Epstein, a man whose crimes stretched across continents, tied not just to American power, but with reported connections to Israeli intelligence. The net is always wider than the headlines admit.
The book has not changed. Empires still trade lives for gold. The palace still pretends to speak for the temple. But the truth, as in the days of Jethro, survives among those the empire ignores. Sometimes the keepers of the name are shepherds, sometimes they are nomads, and sometimes they are you.
I love you all. I don't like the things we are doing, and I say we because I am part of this condition. But I'm looking at it a different way. The truth does not belong to kings. It belongs to the ones who never forget the fire.